I'm doing a bit of work tonight to set up a baseline campaign for a client that we're weaning off of boosted posts on Meta. And I thought while I'm building it, it's a quick and easy one. I might as well show you what I'm doing. That might help you make some decisions and gain some confidence in building your own Meta campaigns from scratch. So let's jump in. Okay, so this is a client that was previously running boosted posts and they were traffic campaigns. Sometimes they were optimizing for purchase, but there was no data flowing back from their website that would tell Meta that they were getting a purchase. So they have been doing all right. They've been getting purchases. They recently moved their onboarding process from on app to on website, and it's working really well for them. But they didn't have conversion triggering on their website that would send that purchase back. So we've set that up for them really quickly using old school custom conversions just on a thank you page. You see, we've just set this up. If you look at yesterday, you'll see we've got a one in there. So we now know that this URL is driving an event that is marked as a purchase, and we're sending it a $500 value back from the website into Meta. So that means we can now start to optimize for purchases, and the advertising account actually knows what a purchase looks like and can start optimizing for it. We're working with this client on our Light Up Lift program, which is our pro bono program where we find a business that's on the up, that has all the right ingredients, it's got product market fit, it's starting to scale, but it's bootstrapping and is low on funds to get to the next level. We document the whole process of working them through a digital go-to-market plan and a scaling plan through digital advertising. So Drivisa is a Kingston-based company here in Ontario, Canada, and they're on a great trajectory for growth. We started working with them in the last month. They're our 2025 Light Up Lift recipient. And today's job is to get a baseline Meta campaign up and running to replace their boosted posts while we build out all the assets in our dynamic influence loop package. So we're going to use what we've already got at our disposal, along with some stuff we shot really quickly last Friday in our studio, to get a campaign up and running that hits as many of the customer journey points as we can in an agile way before we've built out our entire mood video asset plan and built out all those assets. So let's just show you what that looks like. The first thing I do is head over here and create the campaign. There are a lot of options in here and people get overwhelmed. Your objective is, if you can get a purchase conversion and it's firing and sending back to Meta, make that conversion your primary objective. That's the best thing to start with, to see if you can get those conversions. If not, you can start moving further up the customer journey to get lower intent actions optimized for. It's not ideal, but sometimes it has to work that way. This is a one product company, so there's no catalog to connect. And I always set everything up now with a campaign budget. This used to be called campaign budget optimization. It's just called campaign budget now. And you'll see this Advantage Plus tag on here, which means that you're utilizing the machine learning. This just means that you can set up multiple ad sets within your campaign, and those ad sets will share the budget based on the common objective. You want the objective to be the same across both ad sets. You want the audience to be the same across both ad sets. You want to be able to use one of your ad sets as your baseline and another as your challenger. There are exceptions to that, and one of those exceptions we're going to be utilizing today. We want to test two slightly different geographic regions in this campaign just to see where the market is at the moment, because we've got a little bit more local market penetration here in Kingston than we have in Ottawa. But Ottawa is an up and coming city, so we want to take the budget and allocate it across both and let the algorithm find the people that are most likely to purchase. So we've got our budget set for the entire campaign. That's an introductory budget. We're going to be increasing it as soon as we start to see action. In this audience segment reporting, it's showing that this engaged audience and existing customers segment is not defined. This is just a bug in the interface. We have defined these. We've told them who our most engaged audience is, basically traffic to the website. We've uploaded a list of existing customers. That way the machine has a bit more of a sense of who is doing what at what stage of the customer journey, and has got a little bit more information to start off with. All the information that Meta has at this point has come from just traffic to the website, because there were no other events firing prior to now. There are no special ad categories on this, so we can go on to our ads. And this is where we're defining our audience and a little bit more detail to help machine learning understand what it should be doing. So the conversion location is on our website. They're saying you can use the website and the app. We don't have the best app connectivity right now, so this to be able to send that data back to Meta is not optimal. So I'm going to ignore that for now. We may utilize it in the future. Our performance goal is to maximize the number of conversions. We're not going to try and maximize for value at this stage because we have generally one product that's purchased on the website. It has the same price. It's the thing we're trying to sell. And at this point, we need the machine learning to figure out how to get a conversion. Later on, we may be able to maximize for value of conversion as the product set starts to grow and as we get more data. But for now, we're going to keep it at maximized number of conversions. We're going to use their website pixel. We're going to choose that conversion event that we already looked at, that we just set up yesterday. And we're not going to set a cost per result goal. It's too early. It's going to go down rabbit holes trying to figure this out if we set this right now. In fact, I generally don't set it at all. Our budget strategy is very simple. We don't have an end date. We just have a daily budget, which was set at the campaign level. This will let it allocate budget day by day and not go over sort of a weekly maximum. It says it will sometimes go over that weekly maximum. It'll sometimes go under that weekly maximum, but the machine is really good at figuring out when it should be showing what ads at what time throughout the week and allocating more spend to certain days than others to make it all work. Our audience, we're using Advantage Plus Audience as well, so it can figure out using machine learning where our audience is. And we're really just limiting it to a geography and an age range. So in this one, we've got 2 cities defined, and we're telling it that our age range should be 35 to 65. These are suggestions, and these suggestions help to guide the machine on who it should be looking for, but it doesn't preclude the machine from going after people outside of that age range. As long as you don't need to, say for alcohol policy, it's best to give it suggestions, but not force it to go down a specific route. You will end up being charged more to reach those people if you do that, and you can be blocking yourself off from potential customers as long as you can actually sell to those customers. So all we're targeting here is location. Everything else is just suggestions. We're not putting in detailed targeting. When this client was working before with Boosted Posts, they were putting in very detailed targeting. That costs more. So right away, we reach fewer people. And you can be missing out on people if the algorithm cannot match up those behaviors and interests with your correct audience. We have to let the machine learn by using our creative. Our placements, Advantage Plus is on. That means we're going everywhere. Sometimes they won't look great on certain devices. That's fine. If an ad doesn't look right and people are not clicking on it, it's just going to stop showing that ad in that placement very often, unless it can get the conversion. Its entire goal here is to get the conversion. Now we get into the ads themselves. Like I said earlier, we only have posts from Instagram and Facebook that were posted organically and then boosted. But what that means is we have data on what got engagement and what is a good set of ads that we could begin from and set up a proper machine learning test. So you see, I've got 2 ad sets and we've got 5 ads in the first one and 6 in the second one. The only reason we have 6 in the second one is there's a very specific one for the city of Ottawa in here, and I wanted to include that. So really all I'm doing here is going into my business suite and looking at the last 90 days, looking at all the posts that have been posted and just trawling through and looking at what kind of engagement these things get. Once I see what kind of engagement they get, I just go take a look at them by clicking over here. I look at the copy, the creative, and as long as it's all still on track and it's not a moment in time promotion or something like that, then I'll just grab the name of that and then head over here. And then when I'm creating one from an existing post, I'll just click on this one that we've already created. We turn off partnership ads. There's no need for that on this one, but we do have that on for an influencer post that we do have a partnership for. So most of the time you've got this turned off. Make sure you select your Facebook page and your Instagram account. If you have a Threads account, select that one as well. I'm choosing use existing post because I want to use something that's already out there, that already has some social proof and already has some data behind it that says it works reasonably well. Again, we don't have a catalog connected. You can set a source URL and add some site links if that's important to you. In this case, it's not. I don't really need them to go anywhere else other than the home page and the payment page. It's a very simple sales process. And then here, I just selected the post. So you just hit select post or change post, and you type in the name of the post you're looking for. It'll pop up here. Make sure you flip around between Facebook and Instagram if it's not finding it for you. You just select it, then hit continue. It pops it right in here. It'll start populating in your preview over here. Simple as that. And you can leave it at that really, or you can add extra text options. It'll come up with some. using Advantage Plus Creative Text Generation, using their AI. And you can say, yes, tailor the variations to personas if you want. In some cases, I like them and I include them. And in some cases, I don't. This is not a make or break. Just don't add too many. 2, 3, that's all you need. Your website URL is required. That's where you're going to send the traffic. Browser add-ons, when you're at this stage of a campaign, don't worry about this extra technicality. It's not needed. Your call to action, do not waste any time trying to figure out what your call to action should be. There's a lot of data out there that says it doesn't make a difference. I generally just go with learn more on this. I've got a very specific call to action I want them to take, but it really doesn't make a statistical difference. I do not edit the placements. I let the machine learning figure that out. If you have specific promo codes, add them in here. They'll show up on the ad, and that does help. And do turn on as many Advantage Plus creative enhancements as you can. Let it have that control. It's going to add some music that you don't like. That's fine. It'll figure out if your audience likes it or not. If your audience likes it and it gets you conversions, then you're off to the races. So the only thing we have turned off here is catalog items because we don't have a catalog. And that's why our campaign score is 98 and not 100. If I went in there, it would tell me turn on catalogs. But we're fine at 98. Anything above 90 and you're generally going to be fine. You can take that with a grain of salt. Make sure you've got your pixel selected for your website events. We have app events as well coming from the main applications. We're going to allow them to send through as well. It might help us with optimization later. We don't have any offline events, so we leave that off. And we do use URL parameters. This fires the actual data from the specific ad someone clicked on into Google Analytics so we can look at it later. If you want to know exactly what format this is in and a little bit more explanation on that, hit me up in the comments and I'll help explain that in another video. And that's really it. Once you've got it in there, you've got it in there. You didn't have to create an app. So these vertical videos I have here, they're just various of a similar kind of feel. They've got good traffic. People are engaging with them and they're great for the start of the customer journey to get attention. This client has good videos for this. They make good attention grabbing videos in vertical format, which is easy for people to browse and be introduced to on Meta. But that's only the start of the customer journey. I wanted a few other assets in there to help address a couple of other portions of the customer journey. So I built a video that is a little bit more specifically benefits with a couple of features that we just filmed really quickly in our studio on Friday afternoon. And we've just got 3 different versions of that in terms of the dimensions: square, vertical, horizontal. And we've got some text variations for it to tailor to personas in here. I've selected 2 of these ones that I liked. So that's a different style of video that will show up in different placements because it's not just vertical, and it's less attention grabbing. So this one should be shown after those vertical ones once the algorithm is in its stride. So it starts to answer some questions from people and move them down the purchase journey. And then I've created a carousel of testimonials, very simple stuff, just in Canva. Go grab some Google reviews, pop them in an image template, and then build a carousel. This way people can see what other customers who have already purchased the product are saying. These will generally show at the end of the purchase journey to help people go, okay, I've understood what the service is, what the price is, what the benefits are. And now I can hear from other people saying that it does what it says on the tin. It's a good service. And that should push them over the edge. So this is a very basic campaign setup. That's how you go about it, to be able to very quickly in an hour or so, take assets that already exist, throw together some new ones from very basic content and put it together into a system that can then be put out there into the machine learning and have it figure out which assets are used at what part of the journey and send you some data back. So while you're building your other assets for your full dynamic influence loop set, you've got a little bit of information and data that helps you get there. Before this, all we had was data on what would get reach and what would get engagement, right? That's those organic boosted posts. That doesn't tell us the whole customer journey story. This will get us closer. This will get us getting more sales right away for the same ad spend while we build up this other ad set and while we build up more data flowing back into the ad networks. I hope that was helpful. Please do like, subscribe, notification bells. Tell me in the comments what you want more teaching on. This stuff appears complicated when you first get started, but once you get in there and start flexing that muscle and learning it, it's actually pretty fun. and you can see some really great results for your business. I'll see you next time.